This is day 140 of Zohar al Pshat, and we are on Daf Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines down approximately. Up to Mehocha Nafkin Kol Chelin Etata. So we talked about the Yisoid, relation of Yisoid, as the addition on to Tiferes, and this from this pipeline, which extended down into this world. Nafkin Kol Chelin Etata. From here, all the forces came to being below. Ruchim Nishmas Kadishin and the Ruchim Nishmasim, which haven't gotten yet to yet, obviously. As we said, Tzaddik Yisod Elam, the holy Ruchim Nishamas, which are going to be the conduit of the Kedusha from above to below, and of Tarmitzvahs from below to above. Berazid Hashem Tzvakos, in the secret of Hashem Tzvakos, the Yudke Vavke, expanding into all the Tzvakos of this world, Kela Lokei Ruchos, the God who is the God of all the spirits which are to come. Okay, all that is still relating to Yisod. Now we come to the next part of Pasuk, where it says, Vaikol Kim Yom Choshech Kra Laila. Laila. Adon Kol Oretz. Misitra de Smola. Meu Choshech. So, Lila is fascinating, in a sense. Actually, Lila is shorter than Yom, because the Yom extends its light into the night. Night does not extend its darkness into the day. That's important, because the night wants to receive from the day. The whole point of the Choshech is that you receive from the Or. But Choshech and Or are very separate from each other. Light and darkness don't mix. Laila and Yom do mix. Perhaps that's why, and we haven't got to that yet, I don't think the Zohar actually speaks about it, this whole concept of Erev. By Erev, by Voker. Erev is the Taroivus of light and darkness. That's the whole notion of Erev. Erev is a mixture. That mixture is critical to understand how the world's supposed to work. As the Zohar is about to tell us, the night wants to be included in the day. It wants to get the hashpah from the day. It's missing. It's lacking. Or and Choshech are separate, but Yom and Laila have an Erev. Okay, with that introduction, we can begin to understand the next part of the Zohar, which is Laila, Adon Koletz Misitra de Smola. The Laila was produced by the master of all the earth from the side of the left. Meu Choshech. There was a derivative of Choshech. Ubegin dai Choshech to uvasei liskala b'yamina, because the darkness wants to be included in the light. Darkness doesn't want to remain separate from light. It wants to be included in the light. V'cholech tush b'tukvei. It wants to weaken its strength. Ispash minei hai laila. Therefore, there was extended from darkness that night. Kachare lispashta hai laila, and when that night started to extend, aloi semahu choshech, before the darkness could end, and here it means before the darkness could take hold. That darkness should not be completely dark. Ispash minei hai laila, and this sorry. So that darkness should not be extend completely and be bordered by light, and never the twain shall meet. So night extended out from Choshech as a tool, a vehicle by which light could penetrate into the darkness. And the right side, which is now called Yom, is able to penetrate into the Laila and influence it. And the night remained lacking. Night is not as long as day. This is halacha, halacha, right? Until Tzeisa Kochavim, it's still considered in certain halachas to be daytime. until and starting from Muda Shachar is already considered to be daytime and no longer light. Most halachas. Why? Because the night is by definition shorter than the day. Now, of course, there is this concept of the change of seasons, in which by definition night will be longer in the winter for us than it is in the summer. But even on an equinox day, which should be 12 and 12, it's really not. So the and the right side grabs onto it. And light remains deficient. The or and this like darkness wants to be included in light, which you can't do in this form of cheshech. The night wants to be included in the day. Choshech garon hare. The darkness. It is a lack of light. Afiku darga begriu lo ben hiru, and therefore it came out at a level which was lacking, and it's not illuminated. Cheshech lo nori el kais kalabalor, because cheshech cannot be illuminated except when it's included in the light. Now that means cheshech does have tremendous milas. A world without darkness cannot exist for many reasons, but it's lacking. So therefore, there had to be this correlation in which the Laila receives from the Yom, in order that cheshech would not be existing on its own. And I think that this is something to do also, though it's not. I don't think it's explicit here, and even implicit necessarily, but the fact that night and day always follow each other, right? Because it's constantly going around the earth. So such thing as absolute day and absolute night. It's all a question of place. So it's constantly changing and rotating across the globe. So there's also that connection that they're constantly pursuing each other. I'm not sure that that's irrelevant to what we're talking about here. But that's, it says, Laila de nafik mine lo noy al eskala b'yoyim. Kiriu de Laila lo ishtalem. The deficit of night is not completed el b'mosaf, except when something's added onto it. Mati dvasav hacha gora hacha. And what's added on here is lacking there. And we'll have to come back to that point tomorrow. But in the meantime, just the idea that Laila wants to be nichlal in Yom. It wants to have this relationship with the day in order that night be influenced. And the idea is that night itself, any lack, has a desire to be connected and completed by some fulfillment. Okay, we'll come back to it tomorrow.